Good evening. This is the weekend section of Men Uplifting Men. Thank you for those that are joining us from all over South Africa or wherever that you are. Please comment in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and tell us your name and where you're joining us from. Like I said, don't forget to like, share, and tell us where you're coming from. Put in your full name and where you're joining us from. You're welcome to the Men Uplift program, made possible by Weekend Women Empowered Against Negativity. Uh, this vision was founded by Mr. and Mrs. Joseph. Right now, obviously, in memory of Mr. Joseph, and it has been put together uh, as visionaries. They believe this is a way to create better communities by involving uh, parents uh, in the shaping of our community of the future and the community of tomorrow. Um, Thank you for joining us again as we are waiting for our panel guests. Please comment, please like, and please put in your full name and where you're joining us from so that we may be able to know where you are joining us from. Okay. Um, Before we get started, I will go ahead and have our presentation so that you know a little more about what is Men Uplifting Men. On today's program, we are talking about fatherhood. What is fatherhood? How do we define fatherhood? That's what we are talking about in this session. But before we get into that, we're just going to wait a few more minutes as we prepare to get into the topic. We will first of all go ahead and have our presentation of what exactly is men uplifting men. Like I said earlier on, the visionaries of this vision had in mind the fact that this is the key to a better community. This is the key to a better tomorrow. And because of that, we are positioned as fathers to change and transform the way our children think and how our children are seen in the community. There is a depiction of how they are raised. So I want us to be involved in this session. You are able to comment, you are able to ask questions, and you are able to interact with us even as we discuss, as we go ahead and find what it is fatherhood is. In most texts, fatherhood is an involvement of a person who bears children. Okay, that's where the reality of being a father is. It's somebody who's able to bear children. Okay, give birth to a child. When you give birth to a child, automatically you are called a father. Okay, but the fatherhood that we are looking at is the man who already has children or has fathered children or is or either has adopted or found children in a marriage and is the head of that home, of his father and those children. Who is that person and what exactly do we expect from that person? But before we get to that, let me just go through the presentation as we wait to get into our discussion. We are here on the weekend talk. This is a program that the Women Empowered Against Negativity have put together to allow men to be involved in the process of uniting and reconciling families for a better tomorrow. Okay, where you are joining us from. Okay, Men Uplifting Men. The vision for Men Uplifting Men comes from Hebrews 12, verse 14. Make every effort to live in peace with everyone and to be holy. Without holiness, no one will see the Lord. I don't want you to look at this in a religious manner. I want you to look at it in a very open and realistic manner. Okay, when we talk about making every effort, we are looking at uh, to live in peace. We're looking at the reconciliation journey that all of us are placed in. To live in peace as families with everyone. It doesn't just mean your wife, you and your wife and your children, but even those that are living around you. And to be holy, to have integrity. We have so many definitions of what we think holiness is, but we are called to be able to be holy in our conduct, to be upright. Because without holiness, no one will see the Lord. Okay, when it says no one will see the Lord, we're not talking about the consequence of not being holy, but the, the result of not being holy or being upright. People will not see the Lord in you, and they will not see the conduct and the integrity that is needed for us to be able to be upright citizens in our community. Uh, we believe also that it is very important that we, as fathers, are the ones that our children look at as a model. So we need to be careful with what we communicate and how we communicate the, the different things that we want to attribute to our children. Okay. So the vision in a nutshell, uh, to see unity and balance amongst in terms of our gender, stepping up in their roles as fathers and leaders in the different factions in the community. You see, as you can see, we are positioned to we are positioned to be fathers not only because of the fact that we have bared children, but because we also represent a very uh, important role in the community. Like I mentioned earlier, I'll be joined by some of our key members of Men Uplifting Men. Let me just finish explaining the vision quickly, and then we can move on to the next segment so that we can be able to. Okay, so. Men's groups are built around the idea of accountability, okay? But this does not come so easily. We have a situation where we are not able to welcome Pastor Jean-Pierre.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Greeting
much.
to all.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'm just quickly going through the vision, and just for those people who are watching us probably for the first time, so that they can understand who we are before we get into the discussion. So, okay. So, as I was saying, men's groups are built around the idea of accountability, but this does not come easily or naturally. Hence, the reason why Weekend, which, as I mentioned earlier on, is Women Empowered, Committed Against Negativity, saw the need for Men Uplifting Men project to be vital. As a mom stands for mother, Men Uplifting Men is to call the men to stand up and to take the lead. As we all know, the Bible is very adamant about the fact that we should take up the role of being able not just to love our wives, but in turn, that same love to filter through to our children in the way that we stand as an upstanding men in our community, taking the lead to be able to show that to show leadership not only in the sense of position, but to show leadership in our integrity, to show leadership in our conduct. Okay, so our mission goes on to say creating healthy families and communities by helping men understand their role in the community as influencers of behavioral change. So we can see very clearly. So it's not about how perfectly we do it, but doing it consciously. So if we are intentionally trying to make sure that people see the community they want to be in the men that we have in the community, then our sons and daughters are able to have role models that they can follow, role models that they can see as ways and means to be shaped. And it's very, very important also to understand that a father is positioned not only to make children, but is the one that places the seed of behavior in most children. You have to understand that we've had situations where children have very bad behavior, and most of those children who have behavior that draws attention, you find that they do not have a father figure, and they're looking for attention everywhere. It goes both with the boy or the girl child. Okay, so these are our objectives: helping men to be accountable to each other and their families, understanding what taking responsibility for one's actions, and making a conscious choice of allowing God and others to help accomplishing what is right, and then allowing the roles of a family to unite in the goal of raising an environment that is safe and productive. Okay, so the two words are very, very important, but we're going to deal with all these different aspects as we go along. Helping men understand their their emotional makeup. They say that men don't cry and men are not emotional beings, but we are encouraging men to be positioned to be emotional so that they can be able to be better communicators to their children and to their wives, specifically, obviously, to their wives, because a good marriage raises good children. Because when you have a good relationship with your wife, it's easy to be able to to be able to filter that on to your children. Okay, and then the last four different objectives are allowing men to help each other heal from trauma experiences through upbringing, and then also helping men to learn to deal with weaknesses and the need to depend on other men for strength and guidance. Also, to help men to be conscious of gender-based violence and other violent crimes that are common product of this dysfunctional family. Also, not the least, but to dialogue and discuss topics relating to healthy relationships between men and women. And these topics are the topics that we'll be dealing with on most of our programs, so that you can be able to get involved and participate in the different things that are going on. Okay. All right. We have Dr. Maquina. Okay, great. Thank you so much, Dr. Maquina. Maquina is with us from a distance. Thank you so much for joining us, Pastor Siabonga from Eastrefield. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your input. Okay. All right. The proposed activities that will follow As we are preparing to get into a discussion of fatherhood, we are just finishing just to explain who Men Uplifting Men is. Okay. Proposed activities will be to provide safety and protection to the most vulnerable in the community by probably engaging in different forums like safety forums, spiritual crime prevention, and the different platforms that are placed in each community to help bring transformation, bring protection, and bring stability in a community. Also, to organize men camps where their families are also obviously invited, so that we can bring a balance, or to organize events to raise funds in order to sustain the longevity of the Mom Project and the auspices of the weekend organization. Obviously, to conduct community dialogues to address issues affecting young boys in the respective communities negatively. Okay, so like I said, this primarily is to help our young boys, to help our children in the community, to give them a positive output so that we can raise a better future for tomorrow. So this is our vlog, the online platform, social media platform that will involve men and women around the world. And then we'll obviously be able to join our Facebook page. And as highlighted on the scroll, you can join our WhatsApp group on 073 982 3408 or call us on 021 908 1456. All the contact details and information for you to be part of the program at the bottom. Okay, here's some food for thought as we build up the program this evening. Let me just do this reading for you. Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the wicked, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits in the seat of scoffers, but his delight is in the law of the Lord, and on this law he meditates day and night. He is like a tree planted by streams of water that yields its fruit in its season, and its leaf does not wither. In all that he does, he prospers. And the wicked are not so, but are like chaff that the wind drives away. Therefore, the wicked will not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. Okay, Pastor Jean Pierre, uh, we are talking about fatherhood this evening. Could you maybe give us your view of what is fatherhood? What, in your own opinion, is fatherhood? Pastor Jean.
Good evening to everyone. First, to understand the fatherhood, we must first understand the meaning of father. The word father comes from the Hebrew word source. It means being a father is being a source of everything, the foundation, the beginning of everything. So if you are the source, you can be the source of good things. You can also be a source of bad things. As we said, Abba Father, it means we say Father is our source. It means we are in the image of God. So we are coming from the Father, and we must reflect the image of that Father. That is why we call Father who are in heaven. We worship him, but he looks just like us. Now,
Yes.
because we are the source, when we say fatherhood, it means it's the fact that you reflect that you are a real father in every area of life for the kids.
Yes.
You can be a father for provision. You can be a father for education. You can be a father for making for making platform for character for the kids. You can be a father for every direction and guidance in the house. So a father is something special, is like being a god in your home, in your own house. That is my own view. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much. Yes, definitely. We we are so focused on the fact that the Father is an attribute of what God has already instituted in the Word of God. So that Father being the guide, being the replica of what God is to us, to all of us. That is the type of father that we all want to be as men. You know, when it talks about a man that follows the law, a man that upholds the law, a man that does not seek the counsel of those that are not righteous, of the wicked, a man that makes sure that people see integrity. That is the kind of father that we want to see. And now, when we talk about a father, what exactly would you say is involved in fathering a son? We are going to have an example of a situation that we had recently at the organization that we want to discuss in this program, and we can get comments if you join us after this program or whatever. We would really love to hear your comments about this situation. But go ahead and Pastor Jean Pierre, if you can give your view of what you think are the steps of being a father. Besides the first of all, obviously having the child, whether you adopt or you birth the child yourself, that's the first step that qualifies you to be a father. Uh, Now we get into a situation where now what role do we have, since we are the people who usually go out to work from morning to evening, and we come back, and our children are at school, and obviously the first person that they are communicating with is their mother. So what do you feel, where does our work start?
According to me, as you said it, a father must have a child, whether the child is adopted or is coming from yourself. For you to be a good father, this we can see around the world. The world is rotten. That is the word that we must use. This world is rotten. But the Bible says we are the salt of the earth. It means we give flavor to this world. And the Bible continues that when you go to Isaiah 60, when they say, "Arise and shine, for the glory of the Lord is risen upon you." But when you go to verse 2, it says, "Behold, darkness is covering the earth, and the deep darkness," that's what the people don't preach. Deep darkness cover the people. It means there is darkness, this is covered, that is covering the earth, but there is also darkness that is covering the people. Now, that is why God said, you must arise, so that in that darkness, people can see the light. Now, if you are a father, you must show light starting from your home. And wherever you go, as a father, you must show that you are the light. People must see that this is a real father, is a duplicate of or replica of God himself in heaven, showing your kindness, your love, your compassion, and everything that you can have. Now, if you don't have a child, look around yourself. For us to change this world, we need the people that have a fatherhood heart, the people that dedicated to change the world through whatever they think they can change the world. You understand? You can choose a child from a very bad home. You you start training the child, helping the child to change the character. You understand? If you have to like to provide for the child, if you have means, you can do it even if it's not your child. You are installing a good character and something good in that child when the child grow. The Bible says, train up the child when he's still young, and when he will grow, he will never depart from what you taught him. That's what the Bible says. So if you are a father, for me, it's starting first from yourself, to be of the father of yourself. Because if you are a father of yourself, it means you will do all you can to conduct yourself in the good way. Now,
That's very
if you conduct yourself in the good way, you can also conduct the children around you. Now, that is the most important. When you we think about the people around you, you can think about the children of your neighbor. You can think
that's
about
right.
the children that you see on the bridge. You can see wherever you find them, the vulnerable ones. You call them. You start fathering them. That is what I
Mm, mm,
see. I can say about where
mm,
it
mm,
can
mm.
start. Thank you.
Yeah, it's actually very important, even especially the last point that you made, in the sense that uh, in actual fact, your child is not your child. You bring the child to the earth, and the community also has their part in raising your child. Depending on the type of people that you have in your community, you can have really well raised children, because you have upstanding citizens that are living around you and they care about the well being of your children. You are able to have good children. So the experience of fatherhood isn't something that can be easily put into words. It's wonderful. It's also terrifying. It's a job that begins at conception and it goes until the day uh, we die. It transforms your relationships with everything else in your life, your work, your spouse, even our own parents. It introduces you to an unavoidable reality, and that is the one thing that fatherhood does. It's because that child is there, and whether you like it or not, you need to participate. It's either you're in or out. There is no two ways about it. Okay, we have a short case study of a child that was in an incident while on holiday. I'm not going to give the full details or I'll mention the name of this child, but it is the case study that we can discuss for the next few minutes of the program. This child was on holiday and he was playing with their friend, and as they were playing, this is a 14-year-old boy with his he is also almost the same age, and the child, two girls pass by who are a little bit younger than them, and you know how naughty boys can be. He made a pass at the little girls, well, maybe sang a song to make a pass, or just whatever words that he used that were not welcomed by the little girl. So the little girl got upset and without notice rushed home, told the parents that there was a guy that was troubling her and whatever it is on the road, and they're sitting on the corner of the road and they're bullying everyone, or whatever the communication was that made the parents rush over to this corner where these boys were sitting and playing, and started to assault the boy. Okay. These parents of this girl assaulted the boy so badly to the point that he was unconscious. It involved the police, and it just got very complicated. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is in the sense that after this child gets home, okay, he's feeling confused. He doesn't understand what happened. What did he do wrong? Okay, all he did was make fun of these girls who are passing by. Now he's having nightmares at night because of the beating he received. he can't sleep well, he's in pain, and then he's thinking, I didn't do anything wrong. Okay. So the connotation, I didn't do anything wrong. So, us as fathers, what is our response? Obviously, the response of his father was to get up quickly and go and face this father who assaulted the son, and the thoughts of killing him or doing whatever it is to revenge because of this injustice. So, Pastor Jean Pierre, what is it besides the fact that assault is wrong, and obviously that is a situation that goes now into the law. But what is it as fathers that we see in this situation? First of all, the boy says he doesn't see that he did anything wrong. Okay, what would you advise this boy if it were your son at this point?
Okay, the first thing, as parents, when the children grow, as you said, children are naughty.
Mm, mm,
The first thing, when the father heard from the daughter that there was something funny that side, maybe the daughter gave wrong information, or that lead to all these assaults. That father who went to assault the child, he is wrong more than even the son that did that. Why?
mm, mm,
Because, first of all, if you are a father, you can't only listen one side. You
mhm,
must first go and find out and ask the child what happened. Allow the child to express herself and tell you what really happened before you get upset or before you do whatever. And you cannot beat the child in the presence of the parents. That's also
mm,
another issue. Because if you want to beat a child without the parent of that child, you are also wrong, even in the presence of in the justice, the presence of the law. You are wrong. You understand?
mhm.
But now
Yes.
that child, it's difficult to tell the child before he does anything. The thing must
Mm,
first happen. Then we call the child to teach the child how to behave in the presence of friends. The children are always naughty wherever they go. They
mm,
tend to play, they tend to imitate what they see on the movie, on TV, and wherever they see gangsters. That is why it's difficult to, 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 to change a character of a child if it's not, what can I say, molded by a good family. Some of the
yes.
children,
Yes.
they're coming from the wrong families, bad families, or the father is a gangster himself, or he's a drunkard. He doesn't have
Mm,
time to take care of the child. Now, that child, first of all, if we have to change the child, we first show love to the child.
that's right. Mm,
Now, when we show love, love is a very powerful ingredient that can change, that can make a child to listen to you. You
mm,
understand? I've been
mm,
in the incident that the child doesn't listen to the father and to the mother. I'm living among them. But the way the children come to me, sometimes they want to listen, but they don't listen their parent. It means something is wrong with the parent, first of all.
mm, mm,
Now, if they come to us, me and my wife, sometimes we first show love, and then we
mm,
start advising the child. And the moment we start giving them counseling, they listen so fast. Why? Because they see the love and the compassion you have for them. That is the first thing. So for me, that child need first love, even if the child did wrong. If you show the child love, and then that love will be the sweet to give to the child, so the child can listen to you.
That's right. That's powerful. Yes, definitely. Because
That's what I think.
yes, that is actually on point in the sense that there's a saying that they say raising children with respect for others, passion
Mm,
for their life, and the ability to give and receive love. It's impacting their
mm,
life in a positive way.
mm,
So sometimes some parents live in solitude, mentally and physically. In this case, there was injustice. Injustice
mm.
started first from the parent who, without thinking, responded to the emotions of the child. Okay, because
Yes.
first of all, they needed to understand the situation. So, meaning, even that parent required intervention in the sense that his upbringing was not good. He was not
Yeah.
raised well. He's one of these fathers that we need to work with to intervene
Yes.
and help in order for them to balance their emotions. You can't come out of your home and go ahead and discipline another parent's child without
Mm-mm.
understanding, without permission. It's not your place. It's not your place. And he needed to be able to understand the situation so that that child that either made a mistake, if that boy saw a good response from this father, he would have been able to look at life in a totally different way. Okay, but because of that response, he saw a different light to parents that he did not like, and then he also saw a different light to life that he did not like, because he even started to say, is this the kind of life that my children, when I have children, are going to have, where they can be abused and assaulted at any juncture without knowing? If this is the kind of community that we are raising, if this is the kind of community that we have, then even our children are not safe outside our own homes. So we are calling out to parents and especially fathers to join in this movement where we can dialogue and correct the narrative. You know, the narrative has been bad. Time and time again, we are raising the same kind of children in our community, and it's is the result of having gangs. A gang, when we talk about a gang, we're not saying that we're not saying anything. We're not trying to categorize a gang, say good or bad or whatever it is. But the reason why children group up is because they are not getting the much needed attention or the much needed input from their parents in order for them to survive the environment that they have. So we need to understand that children need to know your love, and most of all, you need to whisper to them encouragement, because every child, whether you like it or not, doesn't matter how happy, how rich a child is, they all go through challenges, whether emotional, whether physical, whether it's pressure from from their peers. They always go through things that push them in a corner of transformation, whether to good or bad. Okay. So now, in a nutshell, what we are saying here is the responsibility of a father, first of all, starts where they, once they have made sure that they have a child. Okay. We have already known that the first part that defines a father is the fact that they have actually had a child. They have given the seed, and the child has been conceived. Then, secondly, there is that responsibility that comes that this child would need care. This child would need food to eat and a roof over their head. And then, secondly, let's say thirdly, they will also need love, and they'll need discipline. Love comes in many ways. There's tough love. There's many different ways that you can love your child. You can love your child in a good way, and you can also love your child in a bad way. But we will attempt to look and dialogue about that on another segment. But what we wanted to just do this evening is to define what is a father, and what exactly is fatherhood. And fatherhood, as we have concluded today, is a man of justice, is a man of uprightness, is a man of integrity, is a man that is uh, uh, looking out to be holy, to be the role model for the future of tomorrow, because our community depends on us men. It depends on our ability to balance our emotions. It is in our ability to be able to correct the mistakes, to correct the issues that have encouraged us to not only have the wrong output to our children, but also to send the wrong messages to our children. And also, it's Men Uplifting Men is placed here so that men can be able to talk and air their views, express themselves, and also the challenges that they're having in their fathering, in being able to step up in their role as men in the community. How do we step up without stepping out? And those are the things that we need to discuss. These are the issues that we need to face. And if we can face these issues, I mean, we know that we are all placed on this earth with a predestined plan that God has given each one of us, and within us is something waiting to come out. There is something that is waiting to contribute to your community, to contribute to this earth, to contribute to your child, to your son, to your daughter, to your wife. We are made to contribute to a relationship. We are made to be positioned to be a blessing to one another. We are made to love one another so that we can be able to be that positive input, that that balance in being able to understand that men and women are equal, but not equal in the role that we play in placing our children in the position or the path they need to be in order to be functional, to be productive, and to have a life that is worth living. Pastor Jean Pierre, is there any last words as we conclude this evening session? Is there anything that you can help the audience take home?
Yeah, the last word is we need first transformation ourselves. Transformation, why you gave us a very, very important food for thought about Psalm chapter 1. That's very important. Men, fatherhood must start by ourselves first. Before we teach others, before we do anything, we must first seek for our own transformation. And when we say fatherhood, my tendency is to know that if you are a father, you can even be a father even to your own wife. Understand? You can even teach your wife because you are there to guide, to lead, to do everything. You guide your wife, you guide your children, you guide the people around you. Even at work, you show, as you said, you must be the role model everywhere you go. But it must first start by me being transformed, changing my thinking mechanism so that the paradigm might change first. I cannot help my another child or anyone if myself I'm in the wrong position. So I must first change my posture, adjust myself before I can adjust other people. So the place to start with is to start with myself. I must change. I must correct myself. I must adjust myself. I must change what needs to be changed. If I change myself, then that change. Even the people around you, they can even testify without you asking them to testify. They will say, yo, you have changed, you're becoming
mm,
like this, you're becoming like that. Then it
mm,
at that point, the moment they see my change, it means that they are
mm,
ready to receive the
mm.
advice so that they can also change. So the
Absolutely.
word I can give to the viewers is let's start by ourselves, changing our own character, our own way of seeing things, our views. So all these will help us to become good fathers. That's all I can leave to the viewers.
Thank you so much for joining us, Pastor Jean Pierre. We are very encouraged for joining us as a father and also as a community leader. We appreciate your involvement and participation on our Men Uplifting Men program. And we hope that you will be with us on our next show, which will be announced soon as we build up the group of men in the different communities to come together, dialogue, and strengthen each other and lift each other up. Just as a last food for thought, uh, uh, I would say that fatherhood is the ultimate challenge, the ultimate meaning, and the ultimate pleasure in life. And we should take it that way as men. And as we get to understand our role, it's not just about bringing bread to the table, but being able to understand that it is about participating and taking part in being the man that loves his wife and being the man that loves his children, but not just in existing and saying it, but being able to demonstrate it in the way we live as men in our communities, as upstanding men that people can look up to. Thank you so much for joining us. As we attributed, don't forget to like, share, and tell us your full name and where you've joined us from. And also, for those of you that want to join the program and have any more information, you can join the WhatsApp group on 073 982 3408 or call our offices, the weekend offices at 021 908 1456. Yes, again, for those of you who want to join the program or want to get more information, you can join our WhatsApp group on 073 982 3408 or call us on 021 908 1456 at the weekend offices. Thank you so much again for those who are able to join us and those that have joined us after the program. Please feel free to leave your comments and feel free to leave your name and where you are commenting from. And whatever your contribution will be a blessing to those that continue to watch the program and also add value to the next generation. Thank you.